Welcome to Keeping It Real with Rhinoreels, episode 3. Got 9-time first place men's physique champion, Mark Cage. He's traveled around the world with Tai Lopez for 6 years, using his strategies to help develop the 150 body ratio, the $1 Million Body Program. How you feeling, man? Appreciate you having on today.
Ryan, thank you very much for having me on your show, bro. I really do appreciate it. And yes, it's still a wonderful life and just doing what I do best, man. I love helping people. Anyone who needs it, I love to share my formulas with them and get them to exactly where they want to be. If you close your eyes and say, I want to look like this, working together, we will get you there, bro.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I saw on your social media you're recovering from food poisoning right now. I was curious, as someone who is a fitness expert, nutrition expert, what are you doing to bounce back from that? What's your mindset? What's your strategy?
Actually, at first what happened is I went to a party. Then usually, let's go ahead and set it back to how I prep for my shows and how I prep for my meals is I never miss meals. Now, we know, being a fitness competitor, not fitness competitors know, and other people who are in the same industry, they know how important it is to have your meals on point. So for 1 year, I did not miss one meal. I stayed on point until 20 weeks out. Then I really went hardcore. Going hardcore, not missing meals from low carb days to high carb days, 3 low, 1 high. And then maintaining that for a period of 15 to 20 weeks until you're up on that stage, depleting water, drinking 2 gallons of water 3 days before. The next day, then you're going for 2 liters. And then the day of, I usually don't drink water, and I just have like a 16-ounce bottle of water, and I'll just sip it. And I'm maintained with the food that I'm eating to prep to be on stage. That way I can fill out, and then I look drawn into where the carbs, they just soak into the muscle. So then when you're up on stage, you have a bigger appearance, and then the cuts look like they're so deep and you're so shredded, So
yeah.
Recently I experienced being on my meals all the time, even when it's off season, because right now it's off season. I'm preparing for another one or not. It depends on how I feel, and sometimes I'll say, let's do it. It's just the mindset. Everybody has a mindset. If there's something that you look at or something that how you feel, and I'll just click something that fires me up. A lot of people, energetic people, you be around the same like people like yourself, who know the business. I have to give a shout to my Olympic athlete, Apollo Ono. He's a good brother of mine, man. He's the one who always maintained and checked up on me to ask how I'm doing with my training, with my eating, everything. Because if you want someone who has he's an 8-time medalist, gold medals, silver medals. He's 8-time Winter Olympic champion. So take it from this guy who's been through the worst, down in the ditches to up at the top, in the ice, on the ice. And then I told him, and so positive, man. He goes, it's always good to reset your body. And what was going on through my mind, I went to my friend's party, one of my clients, and just being on my meals, I went for it, man. Whatever they had there, I ate. Because it's off season and it affected me. I could have eaten something wrong, and the next, actually that evening it hit me, and for 3 days, because I usually eat 5 meals a day and I'm a high carb guy, and it took me out, man. It took me out. So what was going on through my mind, the worst things ever that anybody who doesn't train, or it's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I just want to deflate and just get skinny and then just not do it anymore. And then I talked to my buddy like Apollo, and it's just reset. You're just going to reset. I'll tell you what, nobody wants this kind of food poisoning, man. For 2 days straight, every 15 to 30 minutes, I was going. Not good. It was not good, bro. So just bad upset stomach. It was crazy. And I still went to the gym and it hit. It even got to the point, okay, this is not good. How am I going to do this? You know, having to pull over on the side of the road, and it's like, no. You know, but I was feeling I don't want to do this anymore. I just forget it. I just get back to my same. I missed so many meals already. I took off weight, and then I feel weaker, and I just at the top, at my peak. I'm at my peak, and then next you know this happens, and then not eating twice a day, and for me, I'm eating 5 big meals a day. You know, and I'm on point. It's just how I go. I don't miss any meals because I like to become better than yesterday who I was. You know, and each day I like to add each time I go to the gym. I like to increase weight. I like to just continue. I mean, it's what competitors do. They want to show themselves up on stage as like, who is this guy? You know, or even to myself, it's being in all kinds of industries where you have to show your physique and be at the top, you know, being a number one entertainer, you know, being in the club business, being always having to do with physical activity, you know, and it's good to have friends, you know, like my buddy Apollo. And then my coach too. My coach, he's always by my side, and my wife. My wife is right here, you know. I mean, at first you feel alone going through all these roads because some people, they don't care, you know. I mean, everybody has their own thing going on, and this is my thing. This is what makes me feel good. I like training. I like helping people. I love competing. It makes me feel freaking of who I am. And most of all, I got God. I put him first. I put him before anybody. I'll put him before my wife, my daughter, anybody, and things just brighten up even more. That would be the first thing that I would want to tell anybody. If anyone out there is not a believer, it's okay. That's you know, that's what it is. You know, but being around the believer, you see the kindness and the goodness and the help, and the more you get, you know, of being around somebody who Bible breakfast. My first routine every single morning is I have my 4 ounces of steak, 4 whole legs, 1.5 cups of rice, a 5 serving of pancakes, and then my Bible and breakfast, and then I read it, and then I get going to the gym. You know, like I'm a morning guy. I like going to the gym in the morning. But we adapt, adjust, and execute. Even like today, I just finished coming back from the gym because I wasn't feeling it, bro. I wasn't feeling it. It's like I just don't feel like doing anything. But my wife was getting ready, you know, and sometimes she'll come to the gym with me, you know, like 3 days a week for her, sometimes more. And then that gives me a boost. Meaning is like, really, I just want to lay here and I'll just wait till the podcast. You know, I was like, no, shake it off.
Yeah, I didn't want to go to the gym today either, but my girl was going, and I'm like, we gotta go. I woke up, I cracked a Celsius, you know, took a few sips, and I was ready to go. Threw some salt in my water, and we hit the gym. But you just mentioned.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, what were you saying, Ryan?
You just barely threw in there. You said adapt, adjust, execute. It's something I learned at your talks. Actually, how we got connected was at a Ty Lopez event. You were a speaker. I got a chance to talk with you and Susie, your wife, at the networking lunch. And anyway, something that you said in your talk that really inspired me, and I wanted to get your mindset and kind of where it came from, how you live and breathe that now, is your adapt, adjust, execute.
My father was in the military. He was in the Army, but this adapt, adjust, and overcome is from the Marines. But I changed it up, and I use these 3 points on how I live my life, and I use it for my online training, my high performer body training, where I can train anybody from around the globe using my formulas. You know, it's a great training program, and then adapt to whatever is going on in your life. You know, we wake up, if something changes, had food poisoning, so okay, I got to adapt to see what's going on, but it's not going to keep me from going to the gym. Okay, I train 6 days a week. Oh man, it took me. Okay, I'm going to take off, but I'm just going to try to nibble like a little minnow in a ravine, and see what I can put in. And my wife knows a lot also about gut health, so a lot of gut remedies she gave me. Cangest, it's a tea that is amazing for the probiotic for your gut. I mixed oil of oregano with that. I mixed cayenne pepper. I mean, whatever was in me, bro, was sitting right here. This bacteria, and you could feel it just moving around. It's like there's something out of space going on in me. And having these formulas from my wife, and I'll use a little bit of mine, but that cayenne pepper and these formulas, the Cangest tea, which is a good one for the viewers who are watching. You can check this out. If you guys would like to know more about it, hit me up on my Cage Fit on my Instagram, Mark Cage Fitness, and then I can send you through my wife, and then she'll take care of you on that. And other ones, I posted something that really helped out: saltine crackers, orange, and Celtic salt. This was one that stopped everything. I mean, dude, I was getting up every 15, 20, 30 minutes, and this, like, forget it. And then the minute I did this one, this was the last step. And everyone's like, you need to go to the ER. You need to, get out of here. I rebuke you, get out, And then next thing you know, I feel my stomach just stop gargling. It stopped gargling, man. And then all of a sudden, this was the one. The Celtic salt, the orange, nice cold orange, and saltine crackers. That is one of the best remedies. And man, I'll tell you what, I'm still going to have some after the show, bro. And also it's a good snack, great for hydration, because when you are depleting like this and there's bacteria, or if anybody's sick, this is a good way to keep your hydration, your electrolytes, because you know that the Celtic salt has like 61 trace minerals, and each and every one of us are missing so many minerals. From iron, manganese, magnesium, copper, zinc, man, so many that the body needs to help survive. Prevention of cramps, prevention of a good blood flow. All this stuff is good for the body, and just a lot of research. And then this is one of the things that I put it in. And my wife, she hit up Redmond salt. Next thing you know, we get free in the mail pounds and pounds of this Celtic salt, man. It's like, and we've been using it since, man. It's really good. So adjust to whatever's going on in your life. You adapt to it, then you change it. It is what it is. I wasn't able to work out today. Okay, so I have to work out 6 days a week. All right, I'm going to take off today, nibble like a little minnow, and then I'm going to try to get back on track. So all this week, I'm not 100%. No, I am 100%, but I'm not eating the way I should, because every 3 hours I'm sitting at the table and I'm doing my thing. And even if I wasn't competing or not, I'm still doing my thing, because I'm a guy who loves to eat. I just love how you think about what this meal is going to do. And sometimes people go for taste when you're competing. You don't care about taste. You care about what this meal is going to do. So if it's going to be bland or whatnot, it's not going to be that ribeye steak. It's not going to be what this meal is going to do for me. I'm going for not the taste. I'm going for what it's going to do for me, if that makes any sense. And then
got to get the right macros, right calories, and the right ingredients. Throw some of that Redmond's Celtic salt on there for sure.
Yeah, and here's another thing too, man. There's a lot of naysayers, a lot of people who say you can't eat steak every day. Don't I eat steak every single day, and having my blood work, because when you're competing, you always have to monitor everything, make sure everything is on point. Everything comes back like I'm a stud buck. It's like nothing is wrong. So there's nothing wrong with eating steak every day. You know, I was eating it every single morning until it was time to prep. When I say prep, this means I'm eating cod tilapia mix with white rice or sweet potatoes and then 99% ground turkey. These are my main meals. And then every now and then in the 20 weeks or whatever, then I would have a ribeye or a sirloin steak, you know, just to keep size and put a little more fat, you know, in the meal. You know, a lot of almond butter, a lot of almonds, a lot of Grillo pickles, a lot of it just, you come up with ways to, everything just starts to melt away. Your face starts to shrink in. And that's like, when people are asking, are you okay? That means you're doing the right thing, you know, and some people will call it suffering, but you know what, dude? It's like, I love putting myself through that to see how the body can really adapt, adjust, and execute, you know, and then especially when it's about showtime, when there's 600 competitors in different divisions. But in my division, you know, being NPC champion in masters, I'm 55 years old, so I'm competing against other 55 years old or even more, and there's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of them. Next, you know, you become first. You know, it's like, wow, you know, and I love proving to myself and to everybody else, you know, if I was to shave this off, I'll probably look young like you, bro. you know, it's that anybody can do this. Not, I mean, compete. Yes, if that's what you want to do. You know, I have a competitor. He hit me up because after I did my last show, he competed. And then I looked at him. So now I have him on my online training, my High Performer Body Pro, and I'm training him with the program that I use. So I'll go into the gym and I'll have a massive workout. And as I'm doing that massive workout, set it down. I did this, I did that. And then next, you know, I come home, get in the lab, and I execute exactly what I trained for that day. How many reps, how many, what I did, how many exercises. Next, you know, I design a 90-day program and it's ready to go. This dude, man, he is already he's only been training with me for a month. And he got sixth place in his first competition. He already looks way better in 1 month than what he did in this competition that he was in. I'm using the formulas that I use with my coach, but a different frame. You know, different frame, different meals, different whatever I have to adjust. You know, by looking at you, I would see what you're burning during the day and what is your lifestyle like, you know, and then I would adjust it, and then you're going to do this. You know, now if you want to be a competitor,
then you execute.
If you want to be a competitor, there's no cheating, bro. No cheating. And my wife is how can I say? She sees me every day. So she sees of what I go through. She sees my hangry. She sees my moodiness. She sees everything. And we'll go to places, Burger Lounge, and she'll have a nice juicy burger with fries and all that. It doesn't bug me. And I have my meal prep with tilapia, almond butter, and pickles and habanero sauce. And I'm just doing it because I have this one track. Because what I'm going to do is when I get up on that stage, I'm going to show them you only have 1 minute. But they changed this year because there were so many competitors up there, bro. So from that 1 minute up on stage and performing, doing your thing, only 20 seconds, you know? And then it's like, so it changed, adapt, adjust, and execute. And then I'm sitting in the back just with all these competitors all around me. And I just know I'm winning. You know, if the outcome comes different, then I understand and I assess, because last year's show at the NPC, I've only been competing for 2 years, bro. You know, it first started over at Muscle Beach, where I became Mr. Venice, Muscle Beach. I went over there and then I competed in 35, 45, 50, and overall. I won all of them. And then I won the billboard, you know, to be on in Venice Beach. So you go there, you're gonna see me. What's up? I got that.
Yeah.
So that was harder. So 8 weeks later, I went to the nationals. I went to MPC, and then I did the novice B, 45, 50, and overall, and I won all of those. And one lesson. There was one lesson because I put my mindset, because the categories that I entered in, I'm going to win these. And then after I won all of these, then all of a sudden, Cage, what? Huh? What do you mean? They put me up in another overall category. It's like, wait, what's going on? And then I got second. And how I felt on stage, and then what was going on through my mind is like, wait, I wasn't ready for this. And this dude had a smaller waist than me, but I'm also thinking, I took it for what it was, but I competed with the same dude in one of the other categories and I beat him. And then they put me in another overall that I wasn't prepared for, and I got second. And as we're going down the stairs, I go, wow, this dude's got a small waist. And I think my waist was at 31, like 29 and a half. So then what was I doing? Okay, so all right, I'm gonna freaking show you what's up. So the next show I did, I came in with a 28 waist. It's like, there you go. So then what did I do? How did I get this smaller waist from me being a practitioner, rehab, physical therapy background, corrective exercise specialist, inversion table, did a lot of inversion table, went into the external, internal obliques, and I cracked the code, bro. I lengthened it. I cracked every single day in the shower, squeeze, stretch, hang, stretch. And of course, with the meal plan that I'm eating, everything just becomes smaller and smaller, and I did it. So that right there, I knew I could be better this coming year than last year on that. And before and after pics, much bigger this year than last year. I think the tan from last year, let's see if I can pull it up. I think the tan from last year was a lot better. Oh, look, here's Ty. This is when we were traveling the world. Using 205, using my formulas. And then here's another example, Ryan, and then I got him down to 160. But here's another example of how you are able to adapt, adjust, and execute. Dude, I was living on a plane for 6 years in hotels. So I would have to, every single day, find what was going to make me stay shredded. And back then I was, 50 years old? And I had to show Ty, it's like, dude, you can still stay shredded and have a 12-pack. I don't care who the freak you are. It's all about a mindset. I mean, look at his mindset, bro. Who wouldn't want his mindset? But I was extremely grateful that how he wanted me to be his right-hand guy. I'll explain when I first met him too, and then how you are able to be shredded, be healthy, be fit on an entrepreneur's lifestyle. You fly around the world, and he's still doing it to this day. Look at him. He's staying lean. He's staying lean. And using my formulas with other trainers' formulas that he created, $1 million protocol, and came up with 150 body ratio. And then I remember from the first day I was training him over here at Beverly Hills in his mansion. He just knew me as a rehab guy. And then my competition coach was training him. Then another trainer was there. It was my other buddy, Danny Hester, first classic Mr. Olympia. We're all there. We're all just bros, just kicking it. And then I'm rehabbing Ty and then training. But then this is where he goes, I'm going to be making $1 million protocol video. I'm going to be coming up. And then he explains what he's going to do. And then 6 years later, whack, here it is. So he brings it out, and then he has a 150 protocol, ratio. And then now he's using it. And now he pressed it. And then now he's kicking ass with it, man. And then what was it? Oh, yeah, for sure. And then, dude, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter who you are. You could be a certain point in your life, and We'll get you there. Let's see if you can see that. So this one was this year, and this one was last year. Size difference, and can you see that?
Wow.
Blurry.
Yeah, it looks like you're a little bit darker this year too.
This one right here was from last year. This one here was this year, and then I looked darker last year than this year. You know, and then let me pull up that way. Having to go into a mass phase out from 215, from 215 pounds from the beginning of August to November 19th, I dropped down to 179, you know, and I'll show you, explain to you how in the first month, how I dropped 7 sizes. Let me see if you can see this.
Wow, 7 sizes in the first month, dramatic.
And dude, I'm telling you, bro, and I'll explain one of the best ways on how to take it off quickly. Some of these formulas that, you know, I never believed in fasting or any form of fasted cardio. Okay, look, check it out. Let's see. I'm going to turn it up. See if you can hear it okay. It's 215.
Wow.
$185 on stage. Woo. Come on, man.
Yeah, so what's some of the strategies that you use to have that fast of a change?
I used fasted cardio. The minute I wake up, I would use L-carnitine, which is a natural fat burner, a probiotic on an empty stomach, and I would have some caffeine. And then from that point, then I would get on the cardio machine, and I would do, if I'm doing an hour a day, I'll split it up depending on time. You know, I have a Helix lateral trainer here in our house, so I would do that. It was easier than not going outside and running, because running can become hard on your knees if you do not know how to your ground reaction force. If you don't know how to run properly, then you're going to jack your knees up. And then as a competitor, we want things working right and lubed right. You know, so I did fasted cardio and I stay with my meals. The minute I finish that, if I did 30 to 45 to 60 minutes of fasted cardio, empty stomach, I'm using the food from the night before. Then I would have my first meal, which would be 2 cups of egg whites, half a cup of dry oatmeal, which turns out to a cup, and then a cup of berries. And then that would be my first meal. And then after that, then I would go into a cup and a half of white rice, or 8 ounces of ground turkey, and then veggies, and then my next meal, so forth, so on and so on and so on, until 5 meals happen. You know, depending, but the closer I get to the show, then I would have to cut carbs out more, especially go into high carb and low carb, 3 low carb days and 1 high carb day. Look at the body on how it is, and then we would adjust it, or we have to up carbs, you know, and keep up in carbs.
Yeah, and whenever you were talking about adapt, adjust, execute, you said a lot of that came from your father, who had a military background. I know that he passed about a year ago. You'll rest in peace. And I was wondering, what are some frameworks, some lessons that you learned from your dad? Of course, adapt, adjust, execute. That's a huge one. But I know there's a lot more wisdom and things that you learned from him.
Wow. Don't be a half-ass. Don't be a half-ass, man. Anything you touch, you better, I don't care what it is. If you got to sweep a room, you turn that broom into gold. Somebody's watching you. I did that when I first moved here. I was living in my car for 3 months, you know, and wanting to be an action star. God wanted something different. From living in my car for 3 months, and then I ended up over at a gym, and a buddy of mine, John, the owner of the gym, you know, it says, hey, do you want to train this person? I was selfish. I didn't want to train him. I'm an actor. I'm a superstar. It's good to think that, to have that mindset, but not right now, buddy. You know, still living on my card. It was not a prideful thing. It is what it is. Got close to me, and coming from the background from where I left to come here to California, that's a different story. I'll get to that. And then, just like my dad said, you turn it into gold. So next, you know, I'm grab this broom and I'm brushing, pretending the whole gym is mine. He wanted me to train one person. I said, no, I don't want to train this person, man. Because of another buddy of mine, he overbooked himself. And then he goes, I'll give you $100. And she's a half hour. Wait, half hour? You give me $100? I was like, okay, this was somebody that nobody wanted to train. I turned this lady into butter. You could just spread her on some toast. You know what I mean? And then so she loved my training so much. And then next thing you know, bam, there goes the whole fitness thing. And then I became a trainer. You know, but I started watching my father every single morning at 5 a.m. Like, what's my dad doing? You know, being younger. And plus, coming from a ranch background, being a cattle rancher for my father, he has 6,500 acres. This is where real hard work comes from. You know, my father taught my brother and I how to drive bulldozers, how to drive 18-wheelers, how to do the man thing, you know, and 6,500 acres is a lot of land. As far as your eyes can see where it's blurry, that is my dad's land. So we built a lot of fence, you know, and then especially with my brother, he would be on a DA bulldozer and I would be on a D9. I want you to get on that dozer and I don't want to see you till the night. Okay, sir. You got it. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am is how I was brought up, you know, and then just being in this life and managing the land for deer hunters. You know, this is what I was then. You know, as a cattle rancher, I was a deer hunter. I mean, this was my lifestyle growing up. You know, taking cattle down. You know.
Right?
What's that?
And that's growing up in Texas, right?
Growing up in South Texas on the Webb County interchange, 30 miles before Laredo, Texas. You drive 50 miles in, then you're basically, there was a lot of immigrants crossing, and I became friends with them. There was at one time where I was finished with school. I didn't want anything to do with the city because I love the country so much. I would prefer that than here. My father sold the ranch. This is why I moved to California over 20 some years ago. You know, and then my dad, so every Wednesday and every weekend he would come pulling up. And then there was one time he came up and I had about 8 immigrants and I'm cooking. We're at the campfire, laughing it up. He goes, what are you doing? These are my friends, Dad. He goes, what are you? No, I mean, great workers, you know, and then I became really good friends with Federico Rodriguez. He was a ranch hand, and he was the one who would manage the land, and then I would stay in the ranch house, and then Federico, he would stay in his ranch house. We'd wake up every morning and get to work. But back to my brother and I, we would be on the bulldozers. He would be in one strip, and I would be in the other. He would rake, I would rake, and he would root plow. So after he was done root plowing, I'd come right behind him and I would rake up what he root plowed. Then we sandwich it, we burn it, and then we plant it with sorghum, buffalo, or sugar cane for the deer to get these big, huge antlers. Now, again, this is a lifestyle that I was brought up living. Now, this day, I wouldn't even think about taking an animal's life, you know, because I probably had every pet known to man. Well, not every pet, but I had a lot of pets. But now, I wouldn't do that. I'm not that guy anymore because it's been such a long time, and that's not the guy I am now. I definitely changed, you know, from that point. I do love to eat though, and watching my father every single morning doing sit-ups. He had these weight-plated sandals, like these Jesus sandals, but they were like 10, 15 pounds. He was always doing abs and working out, always staying healthy. So this is where I got it. I got it from him. And what he was doing in the army is he would train the generals. I never knew that my father was, he would help train these high-end military generals. And he would teach these soldiers how to shoot the M16s. And he was discharged when one of the rifles discharged in his face. He got shrapnel, you know, so then he became a dentist. A cattle rancher, and then a dentist in San Antonio, Texas. You know, this is where I was born and raised in Bexar County. You know, so my father was a dentist, and then you're right. He recently passed away in May, of this year, on the 8th at 6:20 p.m. And then he's on you see him?
Yeah, yeah,
That's a cowboy. It's kind of blurry shot, but there
yeah.
he is, Daddy L.
People in LA don't know much about the hard work that comes with the country life. I wasn't raised on a ranch, but I was raised in southern Indiana and have been deer hunting with my dad, and I know a little bit about that life, a little more than most people in in LA and Hollywood and Beverly Hills,
Oh,
kind of some of the areas that we're at. It's just a different lifestyle, and something that I miss about that is just more the open air, just seeing more trees, more space. I feel like there's more room to breathe. Um, I enjoy being in Southern California, but I always like to go back and visit the countryside. You need a break every once in a while.
yeah. Don't get me wrong. If there is an opportunity to be on land, be in the country, I would choose that over the city any day. I mean, if you live in California, it's pretty fast paced, but you can turn the fast pace into slow pace. You can change how you feel. You can change your emotions, whatever it is that you're feeling. It just takes a snap. That it's up to you how you change it. It's up to you to make the decision. If you're fat and you look at somebody who's in shape, wow. And then they see themselves being the same way. Come on, man, let's get you there. All it takes is just one time, even if it's a home workout, even if it's push-ups or burpees and all that. I mean, my style of training is good old-fashioned strength training. I'm from the old school. I don't do CrossFit. You can get injured from CrossFit, peripheral hard action movements, doing multiple exercises, with less breathing time. That's not giving the opportunity for your muscle to recuperate. You're not increasing your glycogen levels. I mean, if I did a set of 6 exercises, you're going to see me kick back for about a good 5 minutes, and then I'll probably get to it again. Or if I was in a CrossFit competition, does all these exercises, everybody would be done with one round, and I'd still be at the deadlifts, doing deadlifts, doing freaking cleaning pulls, doing whatever it is. My theory is not that. I stick with what works for me. Everybody's body is different. If you like that style of training, then I can adjust it to where you will not get injured, because we can put it into a corrective exercise format, use these modalities, and teach you how to use these exercises properly.
Yeah.
Be like a robot, and then adjust your meals. Because I'll tell you what, you can look strong, but what do I still got this right here? How come I can't get rid of that? Is because there's something that we're not doing. You could be a meal misser. You could be overtraining. You could be dehydrated. You could be so many things, not sleeping enough, or you're not recovering, you're not drinking enough water, hydration. Yeah, so all these things can hinder your success of wanting to train. Yes, you can go in, you can train. If it makes you feel good, leave. Feel good. That's the whole idea. If this is what you want and you want to feel good, then dang it, feel good. As long as you're getting the work in. And a suggestion would be, don't do fasted training. That's one thing I will not have anybody do. You have to have a nice meal in you. Fasted cardio, yes, you can do that, because you're not exerting yourself to an extreme. And then you will notice, for some people who have done this, of doing fasted training, some they can handle it, and some, wait, what's going on? Boom, low blood sugar, and then they pass out. And they never want to see a weight again. We don't want them to experience that. We always want to go in slow and steady wins the race. Always clean form. Every movement is, with the environment. No, what is it? Ego lifts. A lot of CrossFit. They do a lot of ego stuff. Clean, jerk, oh, then they hurt their neck or whatnot. I've been through it all, man. I've done CrossFit. I've done a lot of stuff. I've ran on an empty stomach and then did a whole hour of training, and then where I would hook myself up on a body map machine to where it measures your muscle, your water, your extracellular water, everything from A to Z on what really works. Being a science guy, just going in there and seeing what really works, and you see the muscle drop. But then all of a sudden you go back to good old fashioned weight training, strength training, then how you see the muscle increase when you have meal before and a meal after. And then if you want to adjust your carbs after that, then you can adjust the carbs after that. But always stay hydrated, stay on point. It's always good to have a coach, mentors. My father and my mother, they brought me up so nice. They gave me the best life. They are giving me the best life. Even Daddy, he's still up. He's watching. He's still giving me the great life. My mom's still giving me the great life with how she taught me so young to be with the Lord. And I'm going to get to a dark side of this. Before I came to California, I was working for my dad's brother, orthopedic surgeon, the best orthopedic surgeon in Texas. So then I was running his rehab, doing physical therapy. Then it came to the point with physical therapists. I learned so much becoming a physical therapist, and then the physical therapist quit. And then my uncle, my dad's brother, get in there. Wait, what? So he wanted me to run his rehab. So I was running his rehab for him. So I ran his clinic for a long period of time. And back then, pay was different. He was giving me $239 every 2 weeks and 37 cents. And then I got a raise. Then I was making $279.79. And then one night I went to a bachelorette party. Went to a bachelorette party in a club called PT Show Club. And then what it was a female bar. You know what I'm saying? It was a female strip bar. But what it was is they had male strippers on the opposite side. So it was like every Saturday night. And then I went over there to the party and all that stuff. And then next, one of the girls came up to me and then we started talking. And then it's like, hey, man, I think you got something going on here. What are you talking about? I think you got what it takes. Really? All right. And then I met the owner of Private Collection, Male Review. And then next thing you know, 20 years later, bro, I became a male stripper. And then one night of working was $1,500. Next night the same. The next night more. The weekend was so that $279 would turn into like who knows, 10 grand, every 3 weeks or whatnot. So I made the wrong decision. I was drawn in. I was drawn into the nightlife, and I stayed into the nightlife. So after doing physical therapy, running my and believe me, I would have become a high-end doctor by now, but I chose differently. Ryan. Most people do. I went the wrong path, but I learned from this path, and I got tired of this path because any path that you take, it can become repetitive. It became so repetitive, so many nights, so much drinking, so much drugs, so much. I've been through it, man. And Ty, he loved my stories because every time when we travel, Mark, tell him one of your stories. Are you sure? Okay. And everybody was like, what? I got some rise and falls and I got some stories, man. And then Ty, he wanted to write a book on me. One time he wanted to do a movie, but it had Matthew McConaughey play me. I was like, wait a minute. No, Devin Knight plays Devin Knight. Matthew McConaughey's not going to play Devin Knight. And watching this, what was the movie? It was Matthew McConaughey. It was, what was the movie? No. The stripper. It was nothing like that. Magic Mike. Magic Mike.
Yeah.
This was nothing compared, bro. I looked at the movie. It was just, forget it. It was nothing compared to the real life. I mean, they downsized it and they played it to make it look, I guess, respectable. But it It wasn't like that. It was not like that. It was far crazy, from traveling from place to place. And then I ended up in Houston, stayed in Houston, Manila for about a good 12 years. And then 12, 15 years, something like that. And then I had enough. I was like, that's it. What am I going to do? Oh my gosh. I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to I remember because I gave everything to the person I was with back then. I was like, you know what? You can have it all. I don't care. Take it all. Bye-bye. I'm done. So the next, I paid $1. My mom goes, here, you can have the car. You can have, wait, really? He goes, just give me $1 for it. I gave her $1 for a Toyota Camry, champagne color. I blacked out the rims. Next, I'm driving. I'm passing Texas, and all of a sudden I remember watching all these fireworks at 3 a.m, knowing how this life is about to change. And I remember I had Tim McGraw, skydiving, Rocky Mountain climbing, 2.7 seconds. What's that song, man? On booming, fireworks everywhere, and it was like had goosebumps everywhere. And then my dad said, "You go and get it." He wanted me to become an action star. So you go out there and get it. So I went out and came out here in California 20 years ago. Not knowing what was going to happen, what am I going to do? And then I transitioned to living in my car. And then I was doing a lot of extra work on set. I did like 267 extra jobs. I would sit on set because I was living in my car, sit on set, have all this free food, and I would use 24-hour fitness, and I would shower at 4 a.m, get a little workout in, and then go on set and just eat and hey man, it's all good. Go back on Burbank Boulevard, sleep on top of my suitcases and crack at it, the same routine. And then I met a couple on set. They said, "Hey man, we got a room. You can just stay with us." I was like, "Really?" So it started from there. And then from that point, then it led into, I got tired of doing that. And then it came into the gym business, and then I was doing the acting from there. And then it led into where I met Ty, my buddy Danny Hester, first classic, Mr. Olympia, first classic physique, phenomenal dude, man. And then he goes, "Mark, and it was his client. Ty was his client because Danny was training him, also with my competition. So Ty had so many trainers. Higa Machado, the 9-time freaking champion of jiu-jitsu. He's the one who trains Keanu Reeves and all these superstar athletes, and movie stars for all these films. John Wick, you're going to see this guy behind set. And I would trigger point, and I healed his shoulder. I got videos of him and all that. And then I didn't have time, but I was going in between. I mean, I'm pretty booked, dude, but okay, I'll just go over there and I'll just see him real quick. And then I see Ty coming over. His arm was all, chicken wing and all this stuff. I go, "What's up, Ty?" "I'm Mark Cage." "Hey, Mark, how you doing?" He goes, "I can't move my arm." "Why? What happened?" "Well, it's his brachialis muscle. If you don't take care of this bad boy, this leads in to the flexor pollicis longus right here into the thumb. And it's involved with gripping. It could have been from his jiu-jitsu because he was doing a lot of groundwork and grappling." So then I see his arm. I go, "Well, I'll tell you what. You can either go to the doctor, because I'm sure he wants to open you up, right? Was it going to be $100,000? The next, 6 weeks of rehab and all that, or I'll give you my show thumb." Show thumb? Because this is the thumb that I use for trigger point. So then I went in, I just started freaking, it's going to hurt a little bit, but the more pain it is, it's going to feel better. And then next, from here, then all of a sudden, started moving it around. "How you feel, man?" He goes, "Wow, Mark, I'm going to make you the traveling healer." "Yeah, buddy. Okay. I hear a lot of shit." Dude, the next week, bro, I'm on a first-class flight to Oslo, Norway. And then
I've never even heard of that.
Dude, exactly, because Ty, he travels everywhere. He has business meetings all over the world, bro. So he said exactly what he was going to say, and then next, I'm on a first class here, first class there, flying with him everywhere. And then I became his trainer because he only knew me as a rehab guy. But then he found out that I was a trainer. Then he found out I was a cattle rancher. Then he found out that I did security. Then he found out I was a nutritionist. And then he found out that, so I was doing 5 things for him while traveling the world. He go, well, I got this guy. This guy, he's like he's 5 guys in one, as opposed to hiring security, having extra security, and then extra this, extra training. You got it all in one guy, and then what a beautiful life, bro. What a beautiful life, just staying close to him, and then exactly when you speak something into existence, it can become. So, you want a great physique. I want a great physique, but let's get you there, and then Ty said what he was going to say. And then I said what I was going to say. Is like, I want to be this. I was telling my wife, he needs a right-hand dude, man. And then, next thing you know, I was a right-hand. Then the pandemic hit. And then the government said, you can't go anywhere. It's like, I'm going to go everywhere. So I loaded 300 pounds in my Jeep, my blacked out Jeep, put a barbell on top, and I went from mansion to mansion training high-end people, president of Disney, president of real estate companies, high-end wives from mansions living in the Hidden Hills. Still to this day, I train clients out there, training a client out there, next to the Kardashians, next to is like, so I stay moving. So what I'm doing now is I'm doing my online training, which is a success. And then I'm also training live, clients. Whoever wants training, I still train high-end clients, old clients that come back, but I'm always busy, man. I'm always busy staying focused. It was a great opportunity when I met you, actually, and then now we're here. And then Ty wanted me to speak on health and fitness, that you can be at any age and be in the best shape of your life, man. It's pretty simple. You just want it. People want things, but they don't actually make moves to get it,
Yeah, and just to back up, you went over a trigger point. What is the trigger point? How does that work? What are the benefits?
So range of motion and restriction, you're putting a static pressure onto a imbalanced muscle. You get a lot of, let's say, shoulder pain. Why? How come my shoulder's clicking when I raise my shoulder up? What can I do to get rid of it? It's from protracting, and then your backside is lengthened. It's covering, so your back muscles are working more, like trying to help the frontline muscles stay upright. So what we would do going into the sling of the armpit, so from here you would go under the wing and grab and just squeeze and then just palpate that muscle. And then look, when I squeeze here, now that little thing I got going on in front of my shoulder is not there anymore. Oh, having so much muscle, bro, this side wants to cramp up. And trap levels too, also from neck pain. From a lot of entrepreneurs sitting down, they got that protruding neck. Their head jutes forward, where it's like this head is in extension, So what it is we have to draw it in, feel yourself. You got pretty good posture, man. Feel yourself as a robot, And then we always want to make sure that we're in alignment all the time, because a lot of people who sit down, they have impairments in their hips and their adductors. They have asymmetrical shifts. They're crooked. Their spine, the lower spine is crooked from sitting down so long, crossing their legs. So you're making your alignment jacked up. So this is where I come in, and then I would stretch and reflex and then trigger point whatever needs to be released, as opposed to, you see people when they extend their arm, they have a short arm and a long arm, just like they have a long leg and short leg. So this right here is coming from the adductors of the arm of the lat over here. And then the short leg and long leg would be coming in from the QL, the stabilizers of the hips. So easy adjustments to where, I remember one time at Ty's farm, he has a couple farms. So then he would have a lot of people come out. And then there was this one dude, he was like this. He put his arms out. He had one arm, one long arm and one short arm. And then And all of a sudden he was even. Then he looked at me like I was like, oh, he just kept staring at me when we're going to a job, and I'm just in the back of the truck in the bed, with everybody else, and Ty's doing his talk. Now over here, what we're going to do is we're going to be by the lake, and this guy just kept looking at me. What did this guy do to me? To where you feel like people, if they see this or they have translations in their neck, they feel like life is over. The doc wants to open me up. What am I going to do? Oh no, it's going to be hundreds and thousands of dollars to do surgery. Their back is jacked up. And then all of a sudden they get introduced into me. And then next thing you know, they're back to normal with just a little tiny adjustments, Chiropractic work, I do a little bit, but I don't do neck. I don't do any of that. I'll do lumbars, I'll do wrists, I'll do ankles, I'll do knees, I'll do back or whatever, but I don't mess with the neck. I'll leave that to the real guys. But anybody who I don't mess with the neck. I'll adjust myself because I know myself. I'm not gonna. That's right. And then do that. I'll do that to myself. Like if something is out of whack. And from sleeping and too much extension, there's just a lot of stretching that needs to be involved, especially if you work out a lot, because you give the muscle 30 minutes. It'll start to get cold again. When my pop, when he was still alive, he was on the bed because my brother was taking care of him at his ranch. My brother, he's the one who kept the cattle ranch, and he's still a cattle rancher, and then he does Regal Cinemas. He runs a theater in San Antonio, but he keeps a cattle ranch. And so my dad stayed over at his ranch house, and his hand was like this. And then, every April I would go down and I'd stay with him for a week, and I'd work on him. But from his hand, I was like, I know I could straighten that hand out. Put a tennis ball in there, and it would be all literally like this. So I'd work on it for like over an hour, and then all of a sudden I'd have his hand. But having stenosis of the neck, for being a dentist and looking forward all the time, his posture was pretty jacked up. 93 is a good living, bro. Then I straightened that hand out like to where it was like normal, and I turned my back to get his meds ready. Then all of a sudden I was like, oh, and then I just work on him all the time and having good conversations, bro, with my pop, and it's pretty wild, man. You never know when the last is the last. So always appreciate what goes on and be so grateful every single morning that you wake up and you got your eyes open, because it really is a gift, man. Because I was telling my dad, Daddy, I'm going pro. Hell yeah. Do these one-liners and all that with me all the time. And then had that handshake with him. Daddy, I thank you for making me the man I am today, and I thank you, Daddy, for showing me the ranch ways, and I thank you. It wasn't like I was saying goodbye. I was thanking him for being my father and everything. And then, dude, man, 2 days later, when I came back to California, I had to go back because that's when it happened. It was like, what the frick? But and I wasn't going to make it because I was feeling kind of funky, bro. And then I called my brother at 3 a.m. Dude, I don't think it's you get your ass down here now. Okay, Bo. I made it. And then I'll tell you what, the devil will try to mess with you every single way, because the minute I left this house, got on the plane, everything just disappeared. I was normal, and I was down there, had the best week, just hanging out with my family all the time. And then it was good, man. But then I had to fly back, and we took care of everything. And what was really wild, bro? When we went to the funeral, I spoke at the funeral. But when it was time to take him, to bury him next to his wife, it was freaking great, bro. The music that played on, because, there's a screen over there of his life and this and that. And then next, the minute the casket closed and we're taking a freaking John Wayne, like he was ready to go. I was like, yes. And it just made me feel so cool, bro. I go, this man is such a dude. He's amazing. And I'm happy that that he made me part of this life. And my mom also, man, you know, and then
Yeah.
just everywhere. I mean, even talking to you, because all this where it transitions to where that lifestyle I had back then until now, how I'm living now. And then now this is what I'm doing right now. I'm speaking with you, you know, sharing about health and fitness and my story, my my story is like, what the frick, bro? You know, that's a story, you know. And then now to what am I going to do tomorrow? My online training, my high performer body online training, adapt, adjust, and execute. You get high performer body pro workouts to get you shredded in a short amount of time. You get a meal plan designed for what your lifestyle is. You get 24/7 messaging. I don't care what time it is. I got some dude in Iran. He's going to be signing up soon. It doesn't matter, bro. And just, you got to be thankful for Instagram and for, you know, these platforms, because this is how people see you, you know. Yeah. And then you get bi-weekly phone calls to talk over your next 2 weeks. You get before after pics every 2 weeks. So much more, bro. You know, I'm there with you 24/7. You know, 24/7. You just go into my high performer body app, and then let's see if I can show you. And then now what it is, I'm going to show you what am I. So now what I've been doing is my own program. It's my own high performer body app, to where lately after my last competition, I've been in the gym and I have been filming, to where now you can and then you'll see me perform the exercise, give the instructional videos on how to perform the moves.
Yeah.
You know, so it's easy to, it's freaking easy, bro. I send you an invitation, you fill out the consultation form, and you are in. You tell me exactly what you want. We do calls like this every 2 weeks, you know? And then my wife also, she does her clients too as well. Let me see.
Yeah, and from my understanding, you train men and then your wife trains women.
Yes, she trains guys too. She'll train clients that I'm not able to train anymore because being busy, and then I'll pass them down to her. You know, and of course it's pretty shiny, but it'll say, with the barbell across your upper back, set your feet slightly wider than your shoulder width apart. Have your feet turned out slightly. Keep your chest and your knees out as you sit back. It explains, and plus you see the video. So this way, but if you have any questions, then you just hit the 24/7 message, bro. And then guess what? The minute you hit me up, I'm going to see it, bing, and then I'm hitting you back right away. And truthfully, it can be more affordable than a live trainer, you know, because I go to $150 an hour, you know, 3 days a week. That could be, you know, a month. That could be like over $2,000. And then if you're only training 12 times in a month, or you could train 6 days a week, you know, 6 days a week, every single week, you know, and it's a 90-day transformation. And I'm there with you every single minute. I don't care. I'm right there with you, because if you want to choose me to be your guy, we work together, and I teach you my formulas that work immediately. There was one dude one time where my formulas were not working. I go, why is my shit not working? Because he's doing something different. He's not listening, you know? So, and then finally this is why we have every 2 weeks, bro. And, you know, I monitor you and I look at your pictures. Okay, how come you're not changing? What is it that you're not doing? I know if you're doing something wrong, because if you're not following the formulas, there's no reason that you would be taking off 1 to 2 pounds a week. So you think in 90 days, bro, 10, 20, 30, sometimes 40 pounds. You know, we've had clients that taken off large amount of body fat, and they feel great. I mean, I have all kinds of people. You help people out being nice. You learn. You live and learn. Being nice. Okay, bro, I got you. You know, I got you. I just want you to get to where you want to be. You took off 40 pounds, and then, what do you mean you're not going to pay me? You gonna disappear on me, bro? And then deletes my profile, deletes this. I was like, okay, just know that I helped you with my formulas and you still have them in your head. Continue to use them because truth comes to light. There will be a time when I'm in Dallas and you're going to pop up in front of me by accident and I'm going to shake your hand. It doesn't matter. But
Yeah,
anyways,
whenever you're ready to get a coach, you have to be coachable and take the information. There's an old saying that whenever you're ready, the teacher will present themselves. And it's crazy how that works every single time. Yeah, I really appreciate you being on today. I love like hearing all the things that you learned from your dad and you've implemented and taking the tragedy of his death, turning around and like having that amazing experience at the funeral and painting that picture. And I just love your mindset. Not everybody wants to be, a bodybuilder. Not everybody wants to go lift a bunch of heavy weights, but what's consistent, whether you're an entrepreneur or wherever you're at, is that mindset and that strong mindset. So if people want to reach out to you, if they want to connect with you, where's the best place for them to do that?
You got to run Cage Fit on Instagram, which is Mark Cage Fitness. And then also what you do too, you help people, with their situations, man. You bring them back, man. That's good. I like it.
Yeah, it's all about helping people, and like you said, like helping someone change their life. There's nothing more rewarding than that. Like, yes, it's cool to make money. We gotta pay bills or whatever, but it's truly about the impact. One of my mentors always says, "Impact over income."
Right. I like that. Impact over income. And, here's a quick note before we sign off. You don't have to be in the gym, bro, for 90 minutes to 2 hours. That's one thing why my wife wouldn't want to go with me because, when it's showtime, even going into the gym, I go to work. It's my job, so I'm in there designing workouts for my app to help other people do. You can express workouts. Being an entrepreneur, like Ty, and which I'm going back into that realm to where I won't be in the gym so much, but until I hit that trigger again, then okay, sorry, baby, it's showtime. Then all of a sudden she goes, "Oh, great! I'll get her a little gift. This is for you, mama." So let me do my thing. He's in the background. Buy her some nice diamond earrings and all that. All right, this is for you. Now I got to get this thing going here. 90 to 2 hours in the gym sometimes, but you don't have to do that as an entrepreneur. And this is what Ty is also spreading with his 150, body ratio to where you don't have to, you get your steps in. I get my steps in, and then it's different animals, bro. Competitor, entrepreneur. You can have a 30-minute workout, and they get, because I'm going to Ty, we would have 30-minute workouts. When we were in Dubai, bro, I remember waiting for him like 7 hours in the freaking gym before he showed up. And then he's making his $1 million calls. And then we trained for 2 hours after I'm just go disappear, go eat, come back and forth, come back and forth, come back and forth. But you can have 30-minute workouts, even if it's a quick 15-minute workout. I got you, man. I got you. If you want to feel good, but still build muscle and lose weight, High Performer Body. Now this new program I got, High Performer Body Pro. And these are some of the exercises that I use to get me my wins for the show that I just won. That I helped myself get to the best of my ability. I always love excelling and being better tomorrow than today. What am I going to do tomorrow? Especially this whole week, since it was a food poisoning thing, 100%. But the gym time is, not as hardcore. I'm just going through the moves, same workouts, but just going through the moves. And eventually the body resets, like my buddy Apollo said, everything resets, and then you're back in it to win it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Kept it real. Episode number 3, Mark Cage. Appreciate you having on.
Thank you, my brother. And you guys are hit up the cage, man. Let's get cracking. Let's get you where you want to be, man. Ryan, thank you so much, bro. And let's keep it up, dude. All right.
Let's do it.